This is One on One. We're here at the North Ward Center in Newark, New Jersey. We just finished a really special event, the Dr. Martin Luther King legacy event. Michele Adubato, my sister, who more importantly is the chief executive officer here, put this event together. We honored Mo Butler, the former chief of staff to United States Senator Cory Booker, and the late Amiri Baraka, the poet, the playwright, the activist, and he was represented in the spirit and in the presence of his son, the mayor of the great city of Newark, of Brick City, Ras Baraka. You're being introduced to the public television family and the Files family for the first time here at the North Ward Center. Talk about this event and why it was so important, why it is so important.
Well, you know, when I was walking around after the event, people were commenting energy in the room, and they said, Michele, this could only happen here. And I thought about that. And I thought about what did that mean? What did they mean that this could only happen here?
For people watching us who don't really know what that means and what this place means, what does it mean?
The North Ward Center truly is a place where people, regardless of color and background in terms of policy, can come together in a room for an event for a unifying reason. I think that's something very unique to the North Ward Center.
Yeah. It's interesting, the people in the room, you had the State Senate President, Steve Sweeney, you had the Mayor of Jersey City, Stephen Fulop, you had Ambassador Phil Murphy. Oh, I'm sorry, they happen to be potential candidates for governor 2017. You had Democrats, Republicans, black, whites, Hispanics, others. People aren't even interested in politics. People in the corporate community, philanthropic community, education community. But the whole idea was to recognize Dr. King, his legacy, and the people who are living it every day. For those who don't know the city of Newark, for those who don't understand where we are and the work that's being done here, talk about who's being served in this community and why they are so often forgotten by so many who don't live and understand this.
Well, there's so many people every day that get served at the North Ward Center.
Who are they?
Let's start with our over 750 preschoolers. How important is it for our children to come here every day, quality education, to truly get that head start into the first grade and beyond? We have been doing that for the past 40 years, and the results have been astounding. And a quality preschool education.
What happens if they don't get that?
Right from the beginning, if you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. So when you don't get that, quote, head start, you're not able to really compete in the world of education. And really, education, and why we focus so much on education at the North Ward Center, is that education is the true equalizer. And here, whether it's the preschool, whether it's our partnership with Robert Treat Academy.
Charter schools.
Absolutely. Choice. We believe in choice. Yes, we partnership with Robert Treat Academy, a blue ribbon school, but we also have very good connections with all Newark public schools.
Where you were a principal for many years.
I was a principal and part of Newark Public Schools for over 20 years. And I believe that partnership really creates even a deeper approach to what we're doing here with the North Ward Center, is that about bringing people together and saying it is about education and it is about quality.
You know, it's interesting. We are here in Newark. We're at the North Ward Center in Newark, a community-based organization, a social service organization founded by our father, Stephen Adubato Sr., who we were thrilled that he was here at the event. His health is failing, but he was very aware of what was going on. He was counting who was here, who wasn't. He always does that. But you can check out North Ward Center and figure out what they do and why they matter. But community-based organizations, not-for-profits, it's not government, it's not the corporate sector. But for those who don't understand, Michele, why not-for-profits are so important in this country, take it beyond the North Ward Center. Because you're dealing in autism issues, you're dealing with senior citizens, a daycare, if you will, for senior citizens. You're dealing with recreation programs here at the North Ward Center. What role, the larger role, for nonprofits, not just in the city, the state, but in this nation? Not government, not business, but nonprofits.
Stephen, you just said it. It's not government, it's not business, it's those core services and beyond that happen truly in a nonprofit. I'm so proud to be the CEO of a nonprofit, especially the North Ward Center, because what we do is provide services. Where else would someone go, especially because these are people who are marginalized in our
Marginalized is a funny word. What does it mean?
people of color. People of color.
Are they poor?
People who definitely have economic disadvantage, people in the cities, the Newarks of this country. There needs to be more examples of nonprofits providing those educational opportunities, more examples of North Ward centers throughout this country.
Where would these kids play baseball on a field? There's a field, not a little field, a great field called Roberto Clemente baseball field, where I believe there are 6 baseball fields there. There are 4 turf fields and 2 dirt fields, and it's amazing to see kids play there. Now, in a lot of suburban communities around this state and this nation, it may not sound like a big deal, but to see kids play there, and the North Ward Center is involved in that effort as well, how big a deal is that to have kids have a safe place to play baseball on turf and dirt fields in Newark?
Right, and beautiful fields. I mean, state-of-the-art, beautiful fields, and we call it youth leadership development. We stopped calling it recreation because it's so much more than recreation. It's truly about building character plus education with our youth leadership
Where would
development.
those kids be without it?
These kids, they are part of us, part of their community. There is no other program in Newark right now.
Where would they be without it?
They'd be home, they'd be somewhere where probably they shouldn't be, maybe on the streets doing things that, how the streets can lead us into places where we shouldn't be. And that's the purpose of our youth leadership development program, serving thousands and thousands of children every year and families.
And finally, the initiative that you're involved in, dealing with autism, has been your area of expertise from an educational and professional point of view. Why is that the work of a not-for-profit?
It has to be the work of a nonprofit. I was a principal, teacher, social worker. I understood what the situation was in Newark Public Schools. And one of the reasons why I made this transition is that I knew that I needed to do more. I knew that we needed to change things on a macro level. That's the power of a nonprofit.
For whom?
That's the power of a North Ward Center for people, especially for children with autism and their family.
What are they facing?
Most importantly, though, for children with autism and their families in an urban environment. Because the challenges, multitude of challenges, trying to get the services that they need, trying to get the educational processes that they should be afforded, don't happen. Many reasons why is because they're from an urban area and they truly sometimes don't understand how to navigate.
What happens to them if they don't get it?
They get lost. They get forgotten. And sooner or later, we're going to pay for that, one way or the other. And that's something that our father, taught us for many years. Sooner or later, we will pay for our mistakes if we don't recognize it now. And that's one of the things that are special, where the North Ward Center, it's about taking people off that tax roll, helping people, making sure when you're using money, you're using it for economically viable reasons.
Thanks, Michele.
Thank you.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the CAUCUS Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Delta Dental of New Jersey, the New Jersey Education Association, Wells Fargo, New Jersey Sharing Network, the law firm of Gibbons, P.C., Verizon, and by NJ Best. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.